All right, I think I'm ready to go. I hit the right button this time. Welcome everybody to another Flow Pilates mat class. Today we're going to be doing a nice workout, a couple harder things, and then we'll stretch out the last 7 to 5 minutes. So let's get started with our feet reaching to the bottom corners of the mat. Feet are flexed. Think about your toes reaching up. Find the sharpest points of your sits bones. We're going to take a stretch forward. Shoulders down. And maybe we kind of go side to side. And the leg that you're kind of going over, you'll feel a deepened stretch in the back of the leg. So just allowing the back of our body to gently waken up. And then we're going to come to center. Think about the arms reaching past the toes, even though you're pulling your shoulders down. And then we're going to lead back with our pubic bone into roll-ups. So low spine touches first, mid spine, upper spine, head. We point the toes, bring the arms overhead, press your body into the floor. Arms float up, draw chin to chest. Lengthen the tailbone to the heels as you roll up. Flex the feet and then go back into that stretch where you're reaching past your feet. And let's do that 3 more times. Exhale to roll back. Inhale to lengthen on the mat, press your body into the floor. Exhale to roll up. Inhale to stretch. 2 more times, just nice and easy, really anchoring the shoulders down as you're rolling back and up. Making sure you're lengthening the tailbone to the heel so you roll through your imprint. 1 more time. We're going to end in our stretch forward. So flexing the feet, just reach forward again, a few more deep breaths in and out. And then from here, we're going to restack our spine tail to head. Bend the knees, anchor your heels into the mat. And we're going to take our arms by our ears, so biceps by your ears, shoulders down, and then find your C curve, so bottom of the ribs to the hips, but stay on the sharpest points of the sits bones. You can imagine a ball between the thighs and your chest. You're trying to round over that ball. We're going to hinge back from the hip, keeping our C curve. Exhale, dive forward. Inhale, hinge. Exhale, forward. So this is going to warm up our abs, warm up our hips. Inhaling and exhaling. We're resisting coming out of our C curve. So you want your spine rounded as you go back. You're going to use that rounded spine to come forward. 3 more. 2 more. 1 more time. From here, we're going to restack our spine all the way back up against an imaginary wall, just reaching the arms forward. Take the left leg out. You can point the toe. And we're going to hug the right knee in and slowly roll back. As we roll back, the left leg's going to come up into a hover. And then we're going to pull the left knee in. And we're going to set up for 100s today. So let's work in neutral. So imagine a little teacup balanced on your pelvis. If it is easier for you at home, you can work in imprint also. We're going to open the knees so the feet are together. Arms at your side, curling deeper. Look at your belly button. See it sink down towards your spine. For those of you who want more of a challenge, extend your legs and let's begin. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale. Curl a little deeper. 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale. See your belly sink down. In. Keep pumping those arms. Exhale, curling deeper. 40. 50. Look right at your belly button. 60. 70. 80. 90. 100 and rest. Just hug the knees in and let's roll our bodies side to side, just allowing our back to relax and our abs to relax. Deep breaths in through the nose, out through the mouth. We're going to place our feet flat on the mat, hip width apart. Take the arms overhead. Imprint the low spine, roll up into a bridge. I want you to focus on squeezing your glutes at the top so we're opening up the front of the hip after doing our 100s. We're going to soften through the heart, roll back down bone by bone, keeping the arms overhead so we get that release through our shoulders and our spine. Start to slide your legs straight to the bottom corners of the mat, and we're going to roll up again. So arms float up, drop chin to chest, lengthen the tailbone to the heels, roll up, flex the feet, big stretch forward. From here, we're going to restack our spine all the way back up. Try to find the sharpest points of the sits bones. Keeping the feet flexed, we're going to make a genie arms, just stacking one arm on top of the other, shoulders down. Imagine a center line through your upper body. We're going to rotate along that line for spinal twist. On our exhale, we're going to rotate to one side, keeping even weight on our hips. Inhale, get a little taller, come back to center. Exhale, rotate. Inhale, center. So we feel that work through our core. We feel that work through our spine. Allowing your head to go with you, so you're looking towards the direction you're going towards. One more. And then we're going to relax, bring the legs in hip width. We're going to hug the left knee in and slowly roll back, allowing the right leg to come off the mat into a hover. We're going to end in a curl. Right leg is reaching out, so that's the hip I'm going to anchor into. We can work in neutral. We're going to do single leg stretch, excuse me. And this time we're going to pull the knee in towards your eyeball. And then we're going to switch. It's the left leg that's out, so I'm anchoring through the left hip. And then switch. Inhale. Switch, exhale. So we'll switch 2 times on each breath. Curling deeper, looking right at your belly button. 2 more sets. Last 2. And rest. Rolling the body side to side, deep breaths in and out. We're going to place our feet flat on the mat again. Take the arms overhead, imprint the low spine, and roll back up into your bridge. Squeeze the glutes as hard as you can at the top and just soften through your heart a little bit to make sure you're not flaring the ribs. Allowing the front of the hips to open up. Soften through the heart, roll back down, keeping the arms overhead. So again, we get that release through our shoulders and our spine. Find neutral. Start to extend the legs out to the bottom corners of your mat. We're going to bring the arms up, drop chin to chest, and roll back up. Flex the feet, big stretch forward again. And then from here, we're going to restack our spine all the way back up, bending the knees, anchoring our heels back into the mat. Again, finding the sharpest points of the sits bones. We're going to keep the arms reaching out for a moment, shoulders down, and we're going to lead back through the pubic bone and find our C curve. And then we're going to come right back up, stacking shoulders over hips. Again, finding the sharpest points of the sits bones. Roll back, exhale. Inhale, come right back up. Exhale, scoop. So we're working our core. And then as we come up, we're using those postural muscles to lengthen through the spine. We're going to add a rotation. So this time as we roll back, we're going to open up the right arm and rotate to the right. Make sure there's no shifting in your hips. You have even weight on your hips. We're going to come right back up, rotate to center. Let's do that on the left. Exhale. Inhale. So a lot of times what you'll see is that you'll shift back away from the side you're rotating towards. So just if you focus on keeping even weight on your bottom as you roll back and rotate, that will fix that. Or you can also think about leaning a little bit to the side that you're rotating towards. We're going to go 4 more times. Here we go. Exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale. 1 more each way. And last one. And we're going to go ahead and extend the legs, hugging the right knee in. We're going to scoop and roll back, allowing the left leg to come up into a hover. We're going to go into scissors. So let's work in imprint, because if your hamstrings are tight, it is a little easier to do scissors in imprint. We're going to take the right leg up, grabbing up towards the ankle. Your elbows are wide, your head and shoulders are curled. You're looking at your belly button. My left leg is out, so that's the hip I'm going to anchor into. We're going to reach the legs away 2 times. 1, 2, and switch. I'm anchoring through my right hip. That's my leg that's out. Reach away 2 times. 1, 2, and switch. The breathing is an exhale, exhale, inhale, switch. We'll kind of smooth it out. Keeping your low spine on the mat. Your hips should feel like they are cemented to the floor. And the legs are reaching away, reaching away. Reaching away, reaching away. For more of a challenge, bring your arms down to your side like your 100s, but without the pulses, and keep those pulse pumps going through the legs. 3 more. 2 more. Last one. Woo, and rest. Roll side to side. It's a lot of work in the legs and the core. Deep breaths in and out. We're going to bring our feet flat on the mat again. Take the arms overhead. Imprint the low spine. Roll back up into your shoulder bridge. And again, just focus on squeezing the glutes so we open up through the hips. Soften, rolling back down, keeping the arms overhead so we release in the shoulders and the spine. Extend your legs straight. Arms float up, drop chin and chest, lengthen the tailbone to the heels. We're going to roll back up and stretch forward. Restacking the spine, tail to head. We're going to take our arms out to the side and open the legs a little wider than our mat for saw. Find the sharpest points of the sits bone. So if you need to move the glutes out of the way, go ahead and do that. We're going to flex the feet again. Keep the knees and toes looking up. Imagine that straight line through the body that we did for spinal twist. And we're going to rotate to the right along that line. Look at your right hand and then take your left hand, reach across like you're going to saw off your right pinky toe. You're going to anchor your left hip to the mat and do 4 pulsing reaches like you're doing a sawing motion to saw off that pinky toe. Restack your spine, keeping your twist, and then rotate back to center. Get a little taller, feel your core brace, and we'll rotate to the left. Look at the left hand. Reach across like you're going to saw off your left pinky toe with your right hand. Anchor your right hip to the floor and reach 4 times. 3, 2, 1. Restack the spine nice and tall, twist back to center. And again, inhale, rotate and reach. Pulse, exhale, 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 inhale, restack. Exhale, rotate to center. Inhale to the left. Exhale, reach across. 4 little exhales as you pulse. 2, 3, 4. Inhale, restack. Exhale to center. Let's do 1 more each way. Last one, everybody. Really reach. 2, 3, 4. Restack the spine. Rotating back to center and rest your arms. We're going to bring our legs and hip width apart. Take the left knee in, and we're going to roll back to our little crunch position, allowing the right leg to come up off the mat. And we're going to pull the right knee in, finding tabletop with the legs. Make sure you're in imprint. We're going to curl a little deeper and bring our hands behind the head at the base of the skull. Take your legs up for lift and lower. Here we go. Inhale, lower only as far as you can keep your low spine on the mat. Exhale, lift. So as your legs lower, see your belly button sink down to your spine. We're going to do 6 more for 8 total. 5 more. So again, just listen to your body. Only go as low as you can keep your imprint. Everyone's lower lift is going to look a little different. 2 more. 1 more. And we're going to hug our knees in and roll our body side to side again. Deep breaths in and out. All right. So as you can kind of see, what I'm doing is I'm throwing in our series of 5, and then we're rolling up in between to do a seated exercise. So we're going to go right into crisscross now, which is our last exercise in the series of 5. So lacing the hands together, you're going to bring the hands right behind the head at the base of the skull. Let's go ahead and work in neutral, but if it feels easier for you to work in imprint and that feels better for your body, go ahead and keep that low spine on the mat. We're going to curl up, rotate towards the right knee. Try to get both shoulder blades off for more of a challenge. You're going to reach out through your left leg. Now, just like scissors or single leg stretch, the left leg is out, so that's the hip you're going to anchor into. As we rotate to the other side, we switch our legs, and now my right leg is out, so I'm going to anchor into that right hip. And then we're going to switch again, inhale, switch again, exhale. So nice and slow at first, so that you really feel as though you're anchoring into that hip of the leg that's out. That's going to make your hips feel like you are cemented to the floor. Let's pick up our pace. We're going to inhale, switch 2 times. Exhale, switch 2 times. 4 more sets. 2 more sets. And rest. Let's make little circles with our knees on the ceiling. Deep breaths in and out. Little massage on the sacrum, reverse it. And rest your feet on the mat. We're going to take our arms overhead again, imprint the low spine, roll up into your bridge. Again, focus on squeezing your glutes as hard as you can. And soften through the heart just a little bit to make sure you're not flaring your ribs. We're going to keep our hips up, take our arms down to our side. Use the back of the arms to help you lift a little higher. Without dropping our weight from our shoulder blades or dropping the right hip, we're going to bring our right leg to tabletop and then stretch it up to the ceiling. Flex the foot. You're going to lower the leg only until your thighs are parallel. Don't allow your right hip to drop. Point the toe, lift it back up. We only have 4 here. Flex and lower. Point and lift. You're going to feel those obliques on the right to keep your hip up as the weight of your leg goes out. 1 more time. We're going to keep our leg up, soften through your heart, roll down through the center of your spine as best you can. And then from here, we're going to take a little hamstring stretch. And you can keep your foot pointed or you can flex and point, whatever feels good for you today. Maybe circling the foot a couple times each way. That always feels really good. And then we'll point again. Take the left leg, reach it down. Arms are going to go out to the side like the letter T, and we're going to do our 1 leg circle or single leg circle. Crossing your midline, your right hip comes off, but not the shoulder blade. Circle down. As the weight of my right leg goes to the side, I'm turning it out, and I'm reaching through that left leg so my hip stays on the mat. Let's just do 4 each way today. So inhaling for half our circle, exhaling for the other half. If you're getting popping in your hip, reach out through your leg more like you're trying to touch the walls in the ceiling. Reverse it. Inhaling and exhaling. If you're still getting popping in your hip after you reach, maybe make your circles a little smaller. 1 more time. And we're going to give that right knee a hug in towards our body. And then cross it over our midline. It can touch the floor or not. And then you can take your left hand on your right knee and rotate your right arm behind you for a nice deep spinal twist. Couple deep breaths in and out. On each exhale, focus on feeling like your spine is squeezing out like a little sponge. 1 more time. We're going to go ahead and come back to center, bringing both feet flat on the mat and arms overhead. Take a deep breath in to prepare. Exhale, imprint, roll back up into your bridge. Focus again on squeezing your glutes as hard as you can at the top and softening through the heart a little bit. We're going to take the arms down to the side. Keep pressing the back of the arms into the mat to help you keep your hips up. Left leg is going to come to tabletop without dropping your weight or your hip. And then send your left leg up to the ceiling. Relax the foot, lower the left leg only until your thighs are parallel. Resist that left hip dropping. Point the toe, reach it back up, exhale. Inhale, flex and lower. Exhale, point and lift. 2 more times, nice and slow. We're only doing 4. So just try to stay strong in your bridge. I know these are hard. Take the leg up. We're going to soften and roll down through the center of the spine as best we can. And then at the bottom, go ahead and take your hamstring stretch by grabbing the whole of the leg. You can stay in imprint, especially if your hamstrings are tight. Sometimes it'll be hard to find neutral. And then play around, maybe flex and point the foot. And then we can circle it again, just to get the foot and the ankle moving. It always feels kind of good to me. Point the toes. We're going to extend the right leg down. And as you're really reaching through it, you're feeling that hip open up. Bending your left knee, bringing it onto the floor. It's okay if it doesn't touch the floor. And we'll take our right hand onto the left knee and rotate the left arm behind us. And just stay for a deep spinal twist. So several deep breaths in and out. Focus on your spine, kind of squeezing out like a little sponge on each exhale. Two more deep breaths in and out. And we're going to go ahead and come back to center and just rest our feet on the mat. So doing the single leg circles and that spinal twist will just open up any tension you feel in the back part of the hip area after doing some of those bridges. And plus, you know, your body's warming up, it's getting moving. So it is March 10th. It's the 10th day of March Madness. We will be doing the exercise of the day next, which is crisscross, corkscrew. So corkscrew is interesting because you actually want to keep your hips cemented to the floor. You don't want them to tilt. So if you imagine that teacup, you're going to resist it kind of spilling to the side when you're doing your corkscrew. What's happening is a small movement at the hip joint. One leg is adducting and the other one is abducting. So AD, AB. So it's actually all that works through the hip joint itself. And our core is working isometrically to keep our hips anchored to the floor. So we're going to go ahead and take our arms down to the side, imprint the low spine, and we're going to bring our legs to tabletop. Take your legs, reach them up to the ceiling. Now, as we shift our legs to the left, because we're keeping our right hip on the mat, the right leg is going to get shorter than the left leg. So it's the right leg that is abducting and the left leg that is adducting. Now taking your legs, you're going to do basically the shape of an oval. We're going to go down, keeping our imprint. As you shift to the other side, because you're keeping your left hip on the mat, your left leg's going to get shorter than your right leg. And we're going to come right back up, meeting in center, both legs the same distance, the same length. And then we reverse that. So we're going to go to the right, left leg gets shorter because you're keeping your left hip on the mat. And then we do an oval down. As you shift to the other side, right leg gets shorter because you're keeping your right hip on the mat. And then we meet back to center. So let's try to smooth that out. We'll go to the left, inhale, circle, exhale, back to center. To the right, inhale, circle, exhale, back to center. One more time each way. Last one. And rest. So there's a variation of that where you roll up also, and I'll be doing that for the video of the day for corkscrew. But today we're just going to stick with that variation. It's nice because you feel that work in your hip joint and you feel those abs isometrically contracting. So we're going to go ahead and extend our legs down to the bottom corners of the mat. Reach the arms overhead. Arms float up, draw chin to chest, lengthen the tailbone to the heels, and roll up. Flex the feet, big stretch forward again. And restack the spine. We're going to go ahead and bring our feet in. We're going to scoop just to the back of the sit bones. So you feel your tail tucking under, upper mid back straight. We're going to bring our legs to tabletop and find a balance. Once you feel comfortable, you can release your hands, palms facing up. Once you feel comfortable there, we're going to take our arms overhead. Now from here, we're going to tap the toes to the mat, lift back up for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2 more, 1 more. We're going to extend the legs down. Bring your hands behind you, fingertips facing in. Lift your heart. Keep your knees and toes looking up and legs together. Zip up. Imagine there's a zipper from your pubic bone all the way up to your sternum. You're going to zip that up. We're going to press our hips up to the ceiling to open up the hips. Look right at your belly button. And then we're going to lower back down and hug the knees in. From here, finding the back of the sit bones, we're going to lift our legs back up into our tabletop. Upper mid-back lifted, tail tucked under. If you feel comfortable there, remove or release the hands, palms facing up. If you feel comfortable here, take those arms high, find your balance. If your legs will allow you, go ahead and straighten them. Find your teaser. We're going to repeat, bending the knees, tapping the toes, lift up, either all the way or just a tabletop again. 9, we want to hold our balance. So nothing moves except the knee joint. Exhale, inhale. 5 more times. You can do it. 5, 4, connect deeper through your core if you're feeling your hip flexors too much. 2 more. 1 more. And extend the legs out. Bring your hands behind you, fingertips face your bottom. Pull the shoulders back. Zip up those abs and those legs and lift your hips. Look right at your belly button. You'll probably feel a nice big stretch down your arm and across the chest. Slowly lower the hips and hug the knees in. Deep breath in and out. Just kind of let your heart rate come down a little bit. Bottoms of the feet together. Let's take a butterfly stretch. You bring your feet in as close as you want today. Just letting the weight of your body fold you forward. And we're going to be here for several deep breaths in and out, just to allow our hip flexors to release. We also get a nice rotation through the hips. Just let your head be very heavy. Deep breaths in through the nose, out through the mouth. 2 more. 1 more. And restacking our spine. We're going to go ahead and lie down on our left side. Line your whole body up with the front edge of your mat. And then actually move your body a little forward on your mat. And we're going to find our mouse house. So you're just lifting through the natural part of your waist, just enough for a little mouse to run through. So it's not too big. You know, I still feel my shoulder and part of my ribs on the mat. It's just through my natural waist. We want to keep our hips stacked, one right on top of the other. We're going to take our top hand in front of us to act like a little kickstand. We're going to reach through both legs, allowing them to come off the mat into a little hover without collapsing your mouse house. Point both toes, but the top leg is going to lift hip width or a little bit wider. Just keep your toe and knee looking forward. Flex the foot, lower back down. That's it. Point, lift, exhale. Flex, lower, inhale. Now, if you feel comfortable, you can challenge your balance by taking your top arm overhead. Point, lift, flex, lower. And you're just holding on to that balance by keeping your mouse house. So our leg is going into abduction and then adduction. Exhale and inhale. So we're going to feel that burn right on the side of the hip. 3 more times. 3, 2, 1. Now the top leg is going to lift. Bottom leg from where your thigh meets your pelvis, you're going to squeeze right from there. And we're going to lift that bottom leg 10 times. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. You guys can probably hear my cat whining because she wants to come in. 2 more. 1 more. Now both legs together, we're going to lower them into our hover and we're going to do a stagger. Top leg lifts, bottom leg lifts, hover both. Lift, lift, hover. Lift, lift, hover. Lift, lift, hover. Lift, lift, hover. Keep your mouse house 5 more times. Breathe through that burn. 4, 3, 2. Take breaks when you need to. 1 more time. Both legs together. Last exercise here, little lifts. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring the arm down, bend your knees, bring your top leg in front. You can kind of punch out around your greater trochanter, that bone that sticks out on the side of the hip, just to kind of release through those muscles that we are working. Now we are going to practice our side teasers. We're going to do 3, and then we'll do everything on the other side. So let's prep it by bending the bottom knee. Top arm is going to slide along the top of the hip. And we're going to keep our bottom palm down. On your exhale, we're going to do a side bend. As you do that, you're lifting your top leg. And then we're going to slowly lower down. You can also think about reaching. If you're mirroring me, it'll be your right hand. Reaching your right hand down towards the toes. And then coming back down. Let's try that one more time. This time you're going to use your bottom arm to press the upper part of your ribs, the side of the ribs off the mat. And we're going to lower back down. So let's go ahead and go into our side teasers. We're going to extend both legs. On your exhale, you're doing that side bend again, but now both legs are coming up and you're pushing your hand into the floor. So you're coming into like the shape of a banana. And then we're going to roll our top hip back as we slide the bottom hand in. Reach your top hand. If you're mirroring me, it'll be your right hand towards your toes. Now the hand that's back, you should really have no weight on it. So you should be able to pick it up. Both hips are on the mat. Now we're going to start to walk our bottom hand out. I just kind of use my fingers to walk along the mat. As I lower my legs, we're going to take our top hip and bring it forward so you're hitting that banana shape again. And then we're going to lower all the way down. We're only going to do 2 more, so nice and controlled. Exhale, lift and push into that bottom hand. Roll the top hip back, slide the bottom hand in, hit your teaser, check your balance, and walk the bottom hand out as you lower the legs. Bring your top hip forward, hit that banana shape again, and lower down. One more time. Exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale. Whew, and just bend the knees. You're gonna feel a lot of work right in here, right in our obliques. So let's go ahead and press ourselves up. Just separate the legs so that your left foot is in front of your right foot. And we're gonna take our left arm up and over. Coming down onto the left forearm, keep your right hip down, right arm up and over, and just stretch out that side we were just working. Coming up onto the hand, push the hips up and forward for 3, and down. Inhale up, exhale down 2, and inhale up, exhale down 1. Now we get a little release in the hip. Let's go ahead and swing our legs to the other side. We're gonna lie all the way down, coming more towards the front of your mat. Kind of line your body up with the front of it. Find your mouse house. Top hand can be in front to begin to act like a little kickstand for your balance. We're going to reach through both legs so that they come up into a little hover, making sure this top hip doesn't roll back or forward. So we want our hips stacked. Top leg, we're going to lift it a little wider than hip width, but do keep the knees and toe looking forward. Flex the foot, lower back down. Point, exhale, lift. Relax, inhale, lower. If you feel pretty good here, you can challenge your balance by taking the arm up overhead. Point, lift, flex, lower. Point, lift, flex, lower. And usually one side does feel a little different. This side definitely feels more challenging for me to hold on to my balance. But you can do it. Let's do 4 more. 3 more, shoulder down if your arm is overhead. 2 more. And 1 more. Make sure also your arm is slightly in front of your face. Now we're gonna take the top leg, lifted hip width, bottom leg from where your thigh meets your pelvis, little lifts. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Both legs lower into a hover, into our stagger. Top leg lifts, bottom leg lifts, hover both. Lift, lift, hover. Keep your mouse house. Lift, lift, hover. Lift, lift, hover. Lift, lift, hover. 5 more. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Squeeze both legs together. Last one here. Little lift for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. Squeeze 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And rest. Bend your top leg. Just bring it down. You can use your fist to kind of punch out around your greater trochanter again. And then we will go into our side teasers. So we'll start with the bottom knee bent just to prep. And I'm sorry if you guys can notice one of my light bulbs. I think one of the things is bad, so it keeps going on and off. I apologize about that. Hopefully it's not too distracting. We're going to take our arm, just slide it along the top hip, reach the hand towards your toes. And then we're just going to do a side bend to come up. So you are collapsing your mouse house here. We're thinking about connecting the top side of the hip and the rib. And then inhale, lower back down. And again, exhale up. Inhale down. Let's add our bottom hand. So the bottom arm is going to push down, or the hand pushes down to come up higher, and then slowly lower down. One more time like that. Really focus on keeping the shoulder down. All right, we're going to take both legs out. We're going to come up into that banana shape. So both legs lift as you curl up, pressing your hand gently into the floor. Top hip rolls back as you slide your bottom hand in. Reach your left fingers towards your toes. Check your balance. Bring your hand back down. Walk it out as you start to lower the legs. You're bringing your top hip forward. Hit that little banana shape again. And lower down. 2 more times. We can do it. Exhale. Inhale. Check your balance. Exhale. Find your banana shape. Lower down. One more time. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And rest. So much work on those obliques. So let's go ahead and come on up. We're going to separate the legs so that your right foot is in front of your left knee. And we're going to take a stretch over the legs. And then coming onto our forearm, keeping the left hip down. So you don't want it to pop up like that. So keep anchoring it down. Keep that left arm overhead and just stretch out where we were working for our side teasers. Coming up onto the bottom hand, let's push our hips up and forward so we get a deeper stretch into the hip and into our side. Hips go back and down. 2 more times. Inhaling up. Exhaling down. One more time, everybody. Inhaling up, big stretch. And exhaling down. Let's come into a quadruped position. We're going to step 1 foot back, finding a single leg plank, and then the other. From here, we're going to pike our hips up, shoulders down, ribs down, heels down. Lift your sit bones so you feel more of a stretch in the back of your legs. Now trying not to wag our tail, we're going to walk our hands back to our feet. And once you're on your feet, you're just going to let everything hang heavy. So you're just coming into a forward fold. Let the arms be heavy, shoulders be heavy, head be heavy. So the weight of our upper body is deepening that stretch through the back of the body. Maybe shifting your weight into the front of the foot so you feel more of a stretch in the back of your legs. If your low back feels tight still, soften your knees. We're going to lead up with the pubic bone and restack our spine all the way up against an imaginary wall. As your chest lifts, think about your shoulders reaching to opposite sides of the room, and then chin will be the last thing to lift. So this is where I know a lot of the class has been tough, but we're going to be doing a push-up series. And then I'll give a different option for the legs if you want to make it harder. So we're going to be rolling down, walking out. We're going to be starting with 1 push-up, coming back, restacking. So take that moment to restack as like your reset. And then we're going to be doing that again, working our way up to 5 push-ups. Then we're going to reverse it. So we'll walk out, start at 5 push-ups, come back, working our way down to 1. So let's do it. Standing up nice and tall. Take breaks when you need to. Draw chin to chest. We're going to peel our spine off that wall. Again, if your low back feels a little tight, just soften your knees as you're rolling down. We want to bring our hands onto the floor, so if you need to, bend the knees. And you're going to walk your hands out into a plank. I want you to resist wagging your tail. So nice and controlled. For those of you who might want more of a challenge, you're going to pick your right leg up for your first set. And we're going to do one push-up. Bring your right foot down. Lift your hips up. So back into that pike, ribs down, shoulders down, heels down, sit bones lifted. And walk your hands back. Try not to wag your tail. Come into your forward fold. Everything heavy, so take a moment. And then leading up with your pubic bone, restack your spine all the way back up against your imaginary wall. As your chest lifts, focus on your shoulders, thinking about reaching them to opposite sides of the room. Chin is the last thing to lift. Now we have 2 push-ups. Draw chin to chest and roll down. Walking the hands out, try not to wag your tail. Find your full plank. Make sure your hips are down. Right leg up for more of a challenge. 2 push-ups. Remember, for your push-ups, your elbows look slightly back. Pike the hips, walk back, try not to wag your tail. Take a moment, let everything be heavy. This is like your little rest and reset. Restack the spine slowly so you feel that wonderful stretch through your postural muscles. Chin is the last thing to lift, and here we go for 3. Exhaling, rolling down. Inhale, holding. Walking out, try not to wag your tail. Find your full plank. Right leg up, 3 push-ups, 3. Only go down as far as you know you can push yourself back up. Foot down, pike those hips up and walk back. Try not to wag your tail, so nice and strong through the shoulders and the core. Take a moment, let everything be heavy. Restack the spine. So our heart rate is going to start to get up a little bit. Start to feel a little out of breath, but not terribly. Rolling back down into our 4 push-ups. Walking out. Find your plank. Spread those fingers wide. Press into the knuckles. Right foot up if you want. 4 push-ups. 3. Lift your head and your belly. 2. 1. Foot goes down. Pike those hips up. Walk it back. And then restack the spine. If you're doing your right leg up, what I'm doing, I kind of forgot to mention this, but I'm actually walking out and walking back, starting with my right hand first. And that way, when I switch to my left leg, I'll start on my left side so that I feel balanced, just because I like to think about balance in the body. Right leg up, last one, 5 push-ups here. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Put that foot down, pike those hips up. Walk it back, try not to wag your tail. Take a moment, let everything be heavy as long as that feels okay for your balance. Restack your spine. So again, heart rate should be up, slightly out of breath, but you should be able to talk. Now we're going to start. Left leg will be up. We're going to work our way from 5 to 1. Here we go. Draw chin to chest, rolling down. Hands on the floor, walk it out. Left leg up, if you want, 5 push-ups. Use your exhale to push yourself up, lift your head, lift your belly. Put the foot down, pike your hips up, walk it back. Take a moment. Let everything be heavy, restack the spine, tail to head. 4 push-ups. Hands on the floor, walk it out. Shoulders down. Try not to wag your tail. Left foot off if you're doing that variation. So really stay strong through your core as you start to get fatigued. Lift the hips. Pike. Walk it back. Let everything be heavy. Restack the spine. Woo! Here we go for 3. You can do it. If your arms are getting tired, just walk out and hold your plank. You can leave out the push-ups if you start to get tired. Press into your knuckles. Keep your head and your belly lifted. Pike those hips. Walk it back. Come up onto the feet. Let everything be heavy. Let the head go. Restack the spine. 2 more sets, everybody. Draw chin and chest, rolling down. Walk it out. Find your nice full plank. Make sure your butt is down. And 2 push-ups. Pike those hips. Walk it back. Let everything be heavy. Restack your spine. Woo, we got 1 more. Let's do it. Drop chin and chest, rolling down. Hands on the floor. Walk it out. Find your plank. Last one. 1 push-up. We're going to put the foot down and lower all the way down. And then just make a pillow with your hands. Let your forehead rest on your pillow. Just take a moment. Settle into your body. Settle into the mat. Deep breaths in and out. Just allowing the heart rate to come down a little bit. We'll recover from that. We're going to turn our legs out. Reach the arms forward. We're going to get ready for swimming. So lengthen the tailbone to the heels. So you feel as though you're pressing your pelvis into the mat. And you'll feel a little suction cup action happening through the belly button. We're going to lift the head and the chest. Hold the abs in deeper. Lift the arms. Lift the legs. Right arm, left leg lower a little bit, and then we switch. So you want opposite arm and leg. And if you feel comfortable, let's start to pick up our pace. So we're going to inhale and exhale for a count of 4. In, 2, 3, 4, and out. 2, 3, 4, and in. 2, 3, 4, and out. Lift your belly more and in. 2, 3, 4, and out. Back of the neck, long and in. 1 more set. And out. 2, 3, and 4. Reach everything out. Lower down. And put yourself into a shell stretch. Your knees can be apart or together. We're going to rest our body over the legs. So at the top of the forehead rests on the floor. Arms at your side. We want our spine to round after extending it. And just a couple deep breaths in and out here. And we're going to go ahead and come back out onto our belly for breaststroke. Legs can be turned out again. We're going to start with our hands right underneath the shoulders, lifting the head and the chest just into a little hover over the mat. So we're not going into a full extension yet. Lengthen the tailbone to the heels, straighten the knees so the knees come off, but not the feet. And you feel that suction cup action happening through your belly button. We're going to take our arms and reach them out, keeping our upper body hovering. Open the arms to the side as you lift your heart up. Now you're coming into your extension. Pull the belly in and squeeze those arms to your side so you feel your lats. Bend the elbows. And as you reach your arms forward again, you're going to lower your chest and your upper body into a hover. Again, open the arms to the side. Squeeze them to your body as you lift your heart. Collarbones wide. Pull your belly in. Bend the elbows. Reach forward as you hover. Let's smooth that out. Inhale to lift. Exhale to hover, so it feels like a breaststroke in the water. The feet stay on the mat the whole time. We're just taking our upper mid back into extension. Back of the neck long, so lead with your heart, not your forehead. And let's do 3 more. 2 more. 1 more. And let's rest in our shell stretch again to counteract that extension. We'll take 3 deep breaths in and out here. Go ahead and restack your spine all the way back up into a kneeling position. And then let's go ahead and come onto our left side, and we'll do 4 side bends each way, and that'll take us right to our stretches. So I'll be doing, like I usually do, the first one with the bottom knee down, because that is a modification for balance. And then the last three will be doing the full with the inner thighs connected. So the left hand, you want to spread your fingers wide. And again, press into the knuckles like I was cueing for your push-ups so that you're not putting all your weight on your wrist. And we're going to take our right hand and just balance the back of the wrist on the right knee. Shoulders down and back, ribs down. We're going to push the hips forward, and that's what lifts them up. You're going to arch over your mat, nice big side bend. Coming back to a long spine, passing through that to lower the hips down. And this bottom hand is really pushing down, so there's a lot of work in the shoulder just to stabilize. So that's the first variation. You can keep your knee on. It makes it a lot easier for your balance. We're going to come up. If you want to do the full, you're going to curl the bottom toes under, and you're going to connect right here. And that connection, you want to keep that. That's going to help you with your balance. Take your arm up and over, arch over your mat. And then lengthen back out, bend your knees slowly, come down. Let's smooth that out for the last two. Here we go. Inhale up and over. Exhale, lengthen and down. Inhale up and over. Exhale, lengthen and down. Good, shake out your wrist. So again, this bottom arm, I mean, not only do I feel a stretch, but it's mostly in here that I feel that work. Because those muscles, that shoulder girdle muscles are isometrically contracting. We're working on that stability. So let's do the other side. Bottom foot behind the top foot. Make sure your feet are a little bit away from you. Left back of the wrist resting on the left knee. Pull shoulders back just so they feel like your shoulder blades are flat against the back. Press into the knuckles of the hand. Take an inhale, come up. Hips go forward to come up. All the way up and over. Slowly calm down. Keep the bottom knee down if you'd like. It helps you with your balance. If not, you're going to curl the bottom toes under and you're going to connect right here. So that connection stays. You're really squeezing right here. And go up and over your mat. Lengthen out. Gently bend the knees. Hips go back and down. Let's do that again. Smooth it out. Inhale up and over. Exhale, lengthen it down. Stay strong through that bottom shoulder. One more time. Inhale up and over. Exhale, back and down. Good job, everybody. Shake out your wrist. We're going to latch our fingers, hold to get a little decompression in your carpal bones, the bones in your wrist. Switch, hold. We're going to come into a quadruped. Stepping the left foot forward, coming into our hip flexor stretch. When you feel comfortable, come up onto the fingertips, lift your heart, make sure the collarbones are wide. Abs are still slightly engaged so that we're protecting our low back and you're deepening that stretch through the front of your right hip. If you feel comfortable, go ahead and take your hands onto your knees so we're feeling a little bit more activation through the left hamstring. We're going to take our left hand to the back of the right leg and you're just going to kind of anchor against it. Take the right arm high and add a gentle back bend so we're opening up that right side of our body. We're going to cartwheel the hands down to the inner part of the left foot. Peel the right arm up, rotate to the ceiling. And again, we're deepening that opening stretch through the right side. Hand comes down. We're going to take our left hand to the outside of the left leg and then extend the left leg. You can play around by flexing and pointing your foot. And then also think about arching your back. So not rounding, but arching. That's going to deepen that stretch through your hamstring. Stay here and hold. For those of you who may want to practice a split stretch, slide your front leg out, square your hips first. And then when you're ready, lift yourself up, turn your back leg out, and just lower down as far as you don't feel pain. There may be discomfort, but no pain. Pick yourself up, slide that front leg in again. We're all going to come back into our hip flexor stretch. Take the hands down, curl the back toes under, lift the knee, And you can lift your hips into your pike, stepping the left foot back. We're going to pedal that stretch out. Shoulders down, ribs down, heels down, sit bones lifted. Just pedaling through the feet. Try not to wag your hips as you're pedaling. And then both heels down. Take the right leg high, bend the knee, open up the hip, cross your midline. Drive that left heel down, even weight in your hands, and just let your hip open up. So again, we're focusing on opening up that right side. And then we're going to slowly rotate the hip down, bring your right knee down onto the mat, and then left knee into a quadruped. Step your right foot forward. And come into that hip flexor stretch on the left. Up on the fingertips, lift the heart. And just breathe. When you feel comfortable, take your hands onto your knee. Stay here, or take your right hand to the back of your left leg and anchor against it. You're pulling the shoulder back. Left arm comes up, and we're going to add that gentle back bend, only if your body wants it. Open up that left side. We're going to cartwheel our hands down to the inner part of the right foot. Peel the left arm high and rotate. So again, we're opening up that left side. Breathe. Bring the hand down. Take your right hand to the outer part of your right foot and extend your right leg. You pull the foot back a little bit if you want. We want to try to keep our hips square. And then you can play around with flexing and pointing the foot. Make sure your back isn't necessarily rounded. You're trying to arch it. That's going to deepen that stretch through the back of your leg. And we're going to hold. Stay here. If you want to practice a split, take your front leg out, square your hips first. Remember, just be gentle with your body. We don't want to injure ourselves by stretching, so be gentle. If you feel like it's too much and it's pulling, just back off. Lift yourself up, turn your back leg out and lower down. Doesn't have to be all the way. And again, back off if you feel discomfort. Or pain, I should say. There's probably a little bit of discomfort. Breathe. Pick yourself up, slide that right leg back. We're going to come into a pike. Pedal it out. Both heels down. Take your left leg high, bend the knee, cross your midline, open up the body. So again, opening up that left side. Anchor your right heel down. It doesn't have to touch the mat. Equal weight in the hands, shoulders down. Rotate the knee back down onto the mat in a quadruped. And then we're going to come to a seated position with the left leg in front. Take the arms, reach them out. So you feel a nice stretch in the back of the left hip. Deep breaths in and out. Few more deep breaths in and out. And we're going to walk our hands back. Switching legs, so right leg in front. Same thing, walk it out. Just hold, keeping your hips anchored onto the floor as best you can so we feel that stretch in the back of the right hip. 2 more deep breaths in and out. And then slowly go ahead and come back up. We're just going to check in with our body after class. So sometimes I like to do this. It just feels kind of nice. It gets you centered for your day. So resting your hands on your knees or in your lap, wherever you feel more comfortable. We're going to close our eyes, find the sharpest points of the sits bones, relax any gripping in the hips, and just check in with your body. Check in with how it's feeling. Check in with your breathing and your heart. Become aware of any tension released or maybe you just feel stretched out, more aware, stronger, more refreshed. Those are some of the things that I usually feel after working out and doing Pilates. Today we'll take a deep breath in through the nose, together, and exhale. Give yourself a little smile and open your eyes. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining.